Welcome to Museum Holic. I'm your host, Anne Pasek, and I am back for another content. This time, we're going to explore museums in the Philippines. And if you'd been to the Philippines, I hope you'd been to some of the museums I will mention. And if you haven't been there to the Philippines, then try to explore these museums. And you will not regret it if you are a historical nerd or a museum holic or just a curious human being. Join me and let's begin.
There's no time for sleep. Get away, fulfill our dreams today. We all need to go, 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 go. Live each day. Don't worry, we'll be okay. We all need to go.
I'd like to share to you my heritage, and that is Filipino culture and Philippine museums. Currently, there's no museums that are open in the Philippines, but there are exceptions. There are two that you can explore. One is virtual. Second is you can explore physically the museum, but it's by appointment when you go there. And then the rest are by appointment because this is under the National Commission or National Historical Commission of the Philippines. And when it is under by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, it's by appointment. And I do believe it's by donation. Some are actually, I don't think so. There's a fee, there's an entrance fee, but it's by donation. And why I am so amazed with my heritage, it's because of the diverse culture. Even myself, I asked each individual's Filipino I met in abroad. They have a different looks, different culture a little bit. And if you can look back the Philippine history, it is a melting pot. And why I say that? Philippines was colonized by the Spanish, Japanese, American, and a little bit time period of Arabian and also the Chinese. And that's why it is a mixture of cultures. And you can see that in the Filipinos right now, that the looks sometimes may differ to another Filipino, and also the culture. So let's dig in. Why is that? Visit Ayala Museum virtual. There's a lot of online resources that you can use. And the next one is the Desert Museum, and it's open by appointment only. The rest of the museum I will share to you is under by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines. It is under by the government of the Philippines, and they oversee all of these museums because these are part of a historical landmark. And the museum or museums is a mixture of Spanish. When I have to mention to you some of the words or terminology. And as you know, some of the Filipino heroes were written or wrote a novel in Spanish, and some of them had continued or finished studies in Spain or some other parts in Europe. So let's begin right now. What are those museums that are under by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines?
Ito ang museo ni Jose Rizal sa Calamba, Laguna at may 6 na galerya. This is Museum of Dr. Jose Rizal in Calamba, Laguna. It has 6 galleries. Ito ay museo ni Dr. Jose Rizal at may 4 na galerya sa Dapitan. Museum of Dr. Jose Rizal in Dapitan and it has 4 galleries. Museo ni Dr. Jose Rizal sa Port Santiago. Museum of Dr. Jose Rizal in Fort Santiago. This is where he wrote the poem Mi Ultimo Adios. Museo sa ilalim ng lupa ng Nagcarlan or Nagcarlan Underground Museum. The town is the home of the most important cemeteries in the Philippines, which has been declared on 1981 as National Historical Landmark and as an important cultural property for its outstanding value to the nation. Museo ni Ramon Magsaysay. He is the 7th President of the Philippines and was born on August 31, 1907. Unfortunately, he died by a plane crash on March 17, 1957, and this is the crash site, Manunggal, Cebu. Museo ni Marcela Marino at Felipe Agoncillo. Through Marcela's skilled needlework, she is a seamstress. The Philippine flag was created through the help by her daughter Lorenza and Rizal's niece Delfina Herbosa de Natividad.
I hope you enjoy the content for Museum Holic. And as I share my heritage, one thing I would like you to know that Filipinos, by the beginning of September, mostly Filipinos, especially in the Philippines, because I am based here in Canada, so I don't do that often, or I don't do it all. In the Philippines, Filipinos, by the beginning of September, all you can see around are Christmas decorations. And as you can see my mug, this is already a snowman mug. And I just wanted to share it to you that it is part of the culture of Filipinos, and that sometimes you yourself, you may ask, kind of weird culture, but because Filipinos are mixed and a diverse people because of the history behind this beautiful country, and that's the reason why. And if you want to know more about the Philippines, there is some link description that I share to you. Check it out. Thank you.